finds that scene for me saying, aha, Chet wants to do something else with this scene. Now remember, just a moment ago I said after you get past that first scene, it always adds in series. So I'm going to come over here to this jelly because I want this seahorse to go next. I simply click add. It puts it in there, see, and it just scoots over the tang. So this way is very easy to move your scene bin around. Okay? Here's another way to use some of the buttons up in your edit interface. Let's say this shot that's now 5 seconds and 12 frames. Let's say I need a little bit longer or shorter. Well, what I want to do is I want to search for that scene down below so I can find it. Okay? And now I can trim a second or a frame or two from the beginning. Let's say I want to be precise, 5 seconds exactly. So I've trimmed the bottom scene to 5 seconds. The top is still 5:12 by simply clicking on replace. Watch what happens. So now the scene that we've affected or changed goes up here with the scene above. And you can do that as well with the other clips here. Let's get this shot down to, ooh, nice shot of a shark coming through here. Oh, look at that. You got a remora on there too. Very cool. Good work, Don Simmons. And we're going to go ahead. If I wanted this shot instead of one that's already up there, you can use that same replace button and it takes it up there and puts it in place of the yellow tang. But you know what? I really like my yellow tang, and I would hate for her to feel left out on today's show. So we'll go ahead and we're going to add her back after the seahorse. So how do we do that? Yes. First we click on the seahorse, find our yellow tang, and click on add, and it goes in series. Now let's say we want to know how long our production is today. How long is our storyboard? Well, what I want to do is I want to click on the I or information button for the storyboard, and it tells me the length of my storyboard is now 37 seconds and 27 frames. Okay? Some of this other information we'll get to a little bit later on as we build our audio and some of the other work that we're doing. Okay, so we've built a kind of a basic storyboard. Let me go back now and show you some of the more creative applications that you can take your footage and add to it and modify it and add effects and what have you. So there's two menus I want to take you in the bottom left corner. First of all, it's new, and this one will let us put black before and after our project, you know, the old fade to black. Okay? In new, because we're actually creating a new scene. So the first thing is video black. Now it's not nothing, it's just a scene with the color black. So let's say I want a 5-second long shot. I can just select length 5 with black here and click OK, and it builds a 5-second long black clip. Now that's kind of in the middle of my scene bin here, and if I want to move it, we can do this. I can click delete and scroll to the end and undelete, and there we have our black scene. Okay? Now you can do that up to 10 times. Once you go past 10, your clip disappears from memory. It's temporary memory as well, so it's only good while the system's powered on and while you remain in this particular project. I want this black scene to go in front of my project, so I click add, and remember this menu from before? This time, instead of behind, I want this black clip to go in front of C13. Then we want to scoot to the end, and there's a couple ways to do it. I can move in what I call the subway, or I can go frame by frame, or I can say take me to the end. And with this scene selected, I want to add it at the very end. So now we have black at the beginning and the ending of our storyboard. There's also other new scenes I can create. I can create my own colors, and I'm told there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 million colors possible, though I haven't had the chance to verify that number precisely. Don't have that much time on my hands yet. So the nice thing about this too is we can actually select a color from our scene bin. So I can select one of these scenes. So if I wanted that yellow tang, I can select that scene and look at this little box here. I can scroll it around and that picks out that color, and now I've actually selected that color that's part of that tang. You have color bars as well. So by clicking on the little preview window, it'll show you what you've got. So you can go preview or you can go full size. Now if you're on one of our systems like the Claro, for example, or the Avio, or the Gymnos, the full-size preview function is part of what's called the Pro Pack. You may have purchased the Pro Pack with your unit that gives you some additional functionality and capability. The full-size preview button is one of them. If you haven't, it's a reasonably priced software add-on that I highly recommend, as it gives you some great features. There's also the countdown, and you can change the color of the numbers in the background. Disk transfer is a great utility to use with your Casablanca that lets you import and export scenes in full image quality with no loss in video and audio data quality. There is an addendum film on the second disc that goes in depth about disk transfer, and I highly recommend you check that out. With pattern, you can select patterns within your Casablanca interface, and there are a number that come right with your Casablanca Smart Edit. There's bricks, there's wood grain, and as long as your Casablanca has the DVD burner, you also have both VME Compact that give you some neat looking masks that you can colorize if you wish as well. So let's say I want to make this focus on the color blue. So, and you also have under DVD Arabesque some great full screen images that you can use for DVD menus or for other scenes. And you can see a variety of these. They're great for all kinds of family films and travel films, professional films, church and ministry, for school applications. So these are all included with the system, along with a whole host of add-on products that also give you additional functionality. You can have the star field pattern. And I do have enabled express maps, which are add-ons that let me select different maps and create essentially travelogues with the Columbus 2 software add-on. But that gives you a quick taste of what's available in the new menu. Okay, we're still in the Edit menu, working on Project Smart Edit 6, and I'm going to go ahead into the Special menu. And what I have selected, when I have this selected as default here, this will only show me those effects that are shipped new with every Casablanca. So you can take a clip and you can run that clip backwards, and you can see that I've got, well, black going backwards isn't very creative or interesting, either one. So we can run the fish backwards in the quick preview. Now this little flash on here is a result of the processor accessing all this high quality video data and showing it to me. The finished product will not look like that. Okay? Clipboard allows me to take this scene, save it to the clipboard, and then come back later on in another project, select that scene, download it, and bring it back into this project. Okay? More information about that function is available in your Smart Edit 6 manual. Copy allows me to simply copy a clip, so I have scene 20, and I have scene 20 copied. K for copy because our system is manufactured in Germany. And we have Ethernet transfer, and again there is an addendum in the printed manual that takes you through the steps to connect your Casablanca via an Ethernet crossover cable to transfer audio and video data back and forth. There's some other effects. Jitter kind of shakes your footage. Quick motion, think of it as a fast motion scene, so I can make it twice as fast, all the way up to 10 times as fast. Scene to sample we're going to cover a little later on in the audio menu, as it takes sound from your scene, strips it off of your video clip, and sends it over to the audio menu. Very, very useful. Slow motion lets you slow down or delay your footage, and still scene lets you create a still shot. Let me go ahead and make this now. We're going to go ahead and make a still scene of this seahorse. Now the still scene function is created off the very first clip of video that is seen. So what we're going to do is we go to a particular scene, click on Trim, and use the In button, and I want to make a still scene right there. It's, you know, it's kind of a nice composition. It's showing both of these seahorses with some grass, seagrass in the foreground. So I click out of that, and with that shot selected, I go to Special and scroll down to Still Scene. Now because there's motion in this scene, it's a full motion video clip, I select half frame. It's actually taking one field, 1/60th of a second, and it's going to make a 5-second long still scene. So here we have the original scene and SC for still clip, and when I click playback, We have a beautiful still scene, which is great for creating titles, sequences, for credits, for dividing up your project. Just a really nice application.